All right, you guys, it's almost time to bring the butter out of the freezer. It's been in there about 30 minutes. You don't want it to get super, super hard because you want to be able to mix it with your hand mixer here. And you have other ingredients to add to the butter before it's in its final resting place because it's about butter, baby. So again, we're going to add some arrowroot. We have glycerin and oil, and then the actual fragrance that we're going to add to the butter. So I'm going to go get the butter now. Alright, we're going to add an arrowroot before we do our first blend, our first whip. I've already pre-measured and poured my glycerin because once I begin to mix these butters right here, they're going to get hard fast. So you want to make sure you have your glycerin already ready to go. That way you can keep mixing and it doesn't make the butters very difficult to mix through. So here we go. I start on the low mix. Making sure I get the sides really well. I'm going to add my glycerin. At this point, this butter is getting very hard really quick. So you got to move swiftly. Time is definitely of the essence. So do not step away from this butter at this moment because it will be too hard to mix when you come back. All right. Matter of fact, I recommend that once you already poured your glycerin, get ready and measure out your actual carrier oil. That way, when it's time to pour, you'll be ready to go. And you're going to mix again. Now, for me, I gradually go up in speed as I'm mixing, just to keep the consistency of the butter. Okay. I turn it back on low speed And then I begin to add my oil. Sometimes I turn it off because I really want to scrape the measuring glass. So it's up to you. At this point, your oils won't harden. So if you take a second or two to scrape your sides, the butters will be okay. All right. Well, we're ready to whip some more. Again, I always start on a low speed, mix it on up. It might curdle, separate a little bit, but that's okay. Your consistency will come back. Because you know, anything about oil adds volume. And I learned that because my brother's a chef. And he was making Caesar salad dressing from scratch. And so as he was pouring the oil, he was explaining to me the purpose for the oil, and the reason why he slow poured it was to give the dressing its volume. Make sure you get the sides very well. Now, that's technically our second full whipping. And I normally do a triple whip. The last whip will be, I'm going to scrape the bowl to make sure I get all the butter in the center. And see if there's any butter that I didn't whip pretty well. Get it all in the center. And then I'm going to pour the fragrance or the oils in at last. And then I'll whip it for the third time. And that'll be my triple whipped butter. You want to make sure you scrape the sides. You want to get all of your butter. Now my blend is going to be, my fragrance blend, excuse me, it's actually called Bubblegum Dreams. It's already mixed. So at this moment in time, before my last whipping, you'll see me pour the oil in. Make sure you get it all out of the dropper if you're using a bottle that has a dropper. I've blended, it's about 480 drops of essential oils because I'm making about a 16-ounce recipe of butter or a blend of butter. So, all right, I made sure all of the oil was out of the bottle, if you couldn't tell. And we're gonna do our last whipping. Are you ready? Here we go. And this is to make sure we blend the fragrance throughout the butter. Just have fun with it. It's what I do. It's one of my most favorite things to do. Is to smell the fragrance and whip the butter. Because I'm almost done. you, it separated in the beginning when you poured the oil, but now it's back to a nice whipped consistency. It has volume. And we're done. Now, we're ready to put some bubblegum dream into a container. I already have my containers pre-labeled. Makes things move a little swiftly. So as you can see, if you can't see, that bubblegum dream. I can't wait till you guys smell it. It smells like, you remember juicy fruit bubblegum? Chewing gum? That's kind of what it reminds me of. And so, as you can see, it's kind of loose. And that's because when you whip it at that high rate of speed, it does get a little heat under it. So of course it keeps the butters melted. But once I finish putting it in the containers, I'll stick it back in the refrigerator for about 5 to 10 minutes, just so it can harden and form properly. And set, I should say, set properly in the container. So. And I always give it a little tap on the counter, just so, you know, it can shake itself out in the container evenly, you know. I don't want to short anybody. All right. And then I just clean it up a little bit. Because why? Presentation is everything. And now we got us some bubblegum dream. All right. You guys have fun mixing your butters and adding essential oils. And I'm going to go ahead and finish packaging. This is the long part. So I'll see you again soon when I make another butter, maybe a different fragrance next time. Take care.